Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're going through a different video. It's actually a podcast for Marvel Future Fight, and we have together the GOAT of Marvel Future Fight, the GOAT himself, Cynic Alex. I guess you know him. Hello Alex.
Hello sir, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine.
Thank you
How
so
are
much for
you?
having me.
Yeah,
I'm good, I'm great. It's great to be here.
okay. I'm glad you choose to come when I invite you. And
The mighty
yes,
Death Proof messages me and asks me. I have to say, I can't say no.
yeah, Mighty Death Proof, of course, yes.
I
And
literally spend more time looking at your thumbnails than my own thumbnails, okay? I just
no
want the
way.
audience to know. I love your thumbnails. I'm so tempted to copy them, but I feel bad. I feel guilty. So I just admire them from afar.
No way.
100%.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like. I see a lot of thumbnails, and I'm not talking bad to anybody else, but your thumbnails by far are the best
Really?
in the game.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I have told you already whose fault is that. It's
Yep.
Athena.
Your better
It's
half. Yep.
yeah, my wife. She's so cool. She's so cool. She's an artist, and it's her fault. My baby Alex saying about your thumbnails and how good they are.
Thank you very
Number
much.
Number one.
He's saying that he's taking, he's watching your thumbnails more than his thumbnails, and
Thank you.
he's tempted to copy them. So yeah,
So I'm using this as my like forgiveness now. If I copy them in the future, you have to forgive me.
no problem. I guess it has no problem. Okay,
Okay.
we give you the permission.
The blessing. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So let's start from somewhere. And so your name is Alex, obviously.
Yes.
And so the idea for the name Cynic Alex, it was you had it already. You had the name on the games, or how?
Yeah. So it's a funny story. Do you remember like old Halo 3 on the Xbox?
No, I wasn't playing Xbox. Yes, but I know
Oh.
Halo 3.
But you
I
know
know
Halo
the
3,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
So I used to play with my friends locally, like at my friend's house. I didn't have one, but my friend had one. So he would invite people over. We would all go and play, have some snacks,
Okay.
whatever, some drinks, pizza, whatever. And they used to call me, they just called me cynical. They didn't call me Cynic Alex, but they called me cynical because that was kind of my attitude. It still is my attitude, but it was a lot worse.
Yeah.
And it was kind of
the
like
younger you are, the more cynic. I know. I was cynic myself.
Exactly, and I had no personality, just being cynical, nothing else.
Yeah.
And so they would call me cynical. And then like years later, when I was I have a friend, Isaac, who I was workshopping names. Like I would send names back and forth to him when I was living in Korea. Because I told him I wanted to start a channel. And then he's like, what about Cynic Alex? Because in cynical, there's an AL at the end. And then that's the two, kind of merge the two together.
You merge the two words, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's basically, I have him to thank for that.
Okay. Really nice backstory. I didn't know that. Nice, nice. And
are you legally allowed to explain why it's death proof? Is it or is it redacted? And
no, first of all, my name, because most of the people perhaps don't know, it's Nikos. My name is Nikos. Okay. Yes, I'm Greek, and my name is Nikos. And Death Proof, it's actually my favorite Tarantino movie.
Oh yeah.
It's a movie, and I really like that movie. And I had a warlock on World of Warcraft, and the name Death Proof, because he couldn't die. I was training live on PvP arena, and I couldn't die. I was Death Proof. Yes, and that's how it hit me, and I was a really nice warlock back there.
So you're a World of Warcraft PvP.
Yeah.
God.
I was playing a lot, yeah.
That's sick.
I was preferring at the end of World of Warcraft, when I was in the ends, when I was playing, I was ranked, on top 100 on Europe as DPS warlock on PvE. I was doing heroic world boss legend, like here we are.
Yeah, I know the big raids.
Europe, yes, big raids, Europe first and stuff like that. We were playing
super competitive.
Yeah. I was playing like 8 hours,
Holy
One
shit.
boss, wipe over wipe over wipe over wipe. I was hardcore player, officer on guilds,
Yeah,
alliances,
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Leroy
So yeah,
Jenkins.
yes, Leroy Jenkins, bro.
Yeah, that's
The really good part having you here in the channel and talk to you, it's because it's really rare find people in your daily routine, to talk
yeah,
about video games, to talk about
yeah,
the game you love. You're
yeah,
chatting on Discord and you're having all these people asking you stuff, but it's not the same having a dude, having the same age is really important in my opinion,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's completely different talk to a guy being 20 years old.
The kids don't understand.
Yes, and they are even calling you old man over and
Exactly.
over.
We're ancient. We're ancient history. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, the idea in the start paying for a game and playing monthly, it was something like,
Unheard of. Yep.
yeah, I didn't want to do that, but because I have this background, Marvel Future Fight, it's like kindergarten for me.
Yeah.
I knew that I have to pay to play proper games.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. 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 You can't get nothing good for free.
How old are you? I think you are close to me. I think you are.
1991.
I'm 88.
Oh, okay. So very close. Very close.
Yeah,
3 years. Less than
3 years
3 years.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So we're.
Nice.
I knew that we were close to the age, but I wasn't sure. You're from Canada.
Yeah.
You're born there.
Yeah.
Which city?
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Uh, I'm from Greece.
Where?
Athens.
Athens. Okay.
Athens.
Nice.
Yeah, really close to the
Not.
center. It's like 10 kilometers from it or something.
Did they still have the drachma
No, we have
when you
euro
were
now.
born? No. Oh, no. I
Yes,
know now. When you were born.
yes, yes. Drachma, it
Oh,
was like
you remember the
until,
drachma?
yes, of course. When
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
kid, we had drachma. Yeah,
Wow. So, you're still in Greece, right?
yeah, Athens
Oh, okay.
still.
Yeah. Cool. 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 Cool.
And you're still on Toronto. I saw
Yeah.
the video that you had explained that you moved to Korea and all this situation.
Yeah.
It was like,
Sorry. Yeah, your English is just so good. For some reason, I thought maybe you had moved to like another country or something. Like it's. I know you're Greek for sure, but like, yeah, it's
oh,
really impressive.
that's a really nice compliment. So let's start with something different. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna say about the classic stuff about Marvel Future Fight.
Okay,
Of course.
different, same. It's all good.
Okay, so when did you start playing the game? How,
Uh, Pretty much after launch. I can't
so
remember the exact day, but very very close to the launch in April 2015.
so you already knew that the game is coming and you were ready to go for it, or you just saw an advertisement and you hooked in?
So it's kind of funny if I can give you the kind of a long answer. I
Okay,
didn't
no
play any
problem.
mobile games at all in my life until almost before Future Fight. I didn't play any
Okay,
mobile games. I had like this really shitty phone in high school and college with just like a
okay.
tiny screen. It had the buttons. I mean, cell
Texts.
phones were not exactly like remember the text where you have to
Yeah,
press the
yeah.
numbers
Yeah. I had
R9
the
or whatever.
same.
Oh my! I
Nokia
want to blow
three
my
three
brains out.
3310 Nokia. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
yeah, and you have to 999 55222. Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's so just for one word, two words. So
yeah.
I played no mobile games. I had no idea. And
Mm-hmm.
then I went to Korea. I moved to Korea, and I had a little bit more money. And I see so many Koreans playing games on the subway and in public, like so many Koreans, even like hot
Okay.
girls, fit guys, like not just like kind of stereotypical from the
Nerds.
90s, like
Yes.
nerd losers, right? Like hiding
Yeah.
away playing, like people in public, like big strong
Game
guys, like
Boy.
right. So I was like, man, maybe there's something I'm missing here. So I spent some money and I got a good smartphone, and then I
Yeah.
started playing Clash of Clans.
Ah,
And
yeah.
then a little bit after that, I found out about Marvel Future Fight, and they were advertising the game like in the subway and stuff in Korea. So then that's how I found out about it.
That's really cool, bro. Oh
Just
my god,
like,
that's really
yeah.
good story. That's really good
Hmm.
story.
What about you?
Okay. It's really stupid for me to be honest, but it's like that. I had an addiction, not literally, but it was like my life was like World of Warcraft. I was sleeping for 8 hours, working for 8 hours, and playing World of Warcraft 8 hours, and doing nothing else. And
It's
I was like,
balanced.
yes. Yes, that's balanced, of course. Yes, 33% exactly. So, what I was saying, yes, when I was feeling that I'm going down, I was like 24 years old, and I was feeling
Mm.
like 40 years old, and
Oh
I say,
shit!
and
Log
and
out.
yes, and I was like, what's gonna happen when I'm gonna be 30? I'm gonna
Yep.
die in front of that computer and playing World of Warcraft. So I have to cut it out,
Yeah.
and I cut it
Wow.
out like this. And that's what helps me was starting, training. I was doing myself, some training, and I
Like
start
physics,
playing.
like
Yes,
exercise. Oh
whatever.
shit.
Yes, I was,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was, I was chubby. I was
Okay.
way. I was
Not
like,
anymore. Holy shit.
yes, okay. And I
Nice.
start doing that. And after that, I cut also smoking. I was smoking like
Nice.
2 pack of cigarettes per day, like
Holy
strike that, but
shit.
there. And I start being more fit. And in the same time, as placebo on myself, I start playing on my mobile phone Hearthstone. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I was really good because I was really, Hearthstone. It's from World of Warcraft
Yep.
characters,
Yep.
cards,
Yep.
and I knew the cards, I knew the characters, and I was already good. I was going there to be ranked also, and
Nice.
suddenly, I went to the cinema and watched Infinity War,
Yeah.
and it
Oh
kicked me.
shit.
I liked Marvel. I have comics.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was always watching movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like in the cinema watching Infinity War. And when I went out, I was like, oh my god! And I'm opening my phone, and it's Marvel Future Fight popping out with Infinity War update. And I was seeing Thanos on my phone. And I was like,
That's
holy
crazy.
shit! I can play with Thanos,
Holy
bro!
shit.
And I download the game right
Yeah.
away, and start playing over and over. But the stupid thing about that, it's because my point of view was from Snake and Nokia phones to
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hearthstone, and there is a little asterisk here. Hearthstone was never only mobile phone game. It
Right.
was
It was originally just PC.
Yes, it was also in the PC. And in
Yeah.
my mind, for some reason, I thought Marvel Future Fight is a PC game too.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. With a mobile port.
Yes, and I was like, okay, I can play on my computer also. And took me like 1 or 2 months to realize that it was a mobile game, you know.
Only.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I'm playing a mobile game with money that you can spend. To
Yep.
realize how it goes, it took me like 2 months. But after I realized what I'm playing, I was, I was trying to be better and better and better, and I'm still playing. No, I'm not missing any, dailies and stuff. I'm crazy. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed. I'm not.
Holy shit. So that's like a true. Wow. That's crazy. That's so. I really like stories like that. It's really cool. Like it's cool to hear people that played since the beginning, but I think it's more interesting to have a situation like that where there was like an event. I
Yeah,
was just looking for a new game, right? It's not
yeah.
like yeah, I like Marvel, but I was just looking for a new game. But you have this like insane catalyst that was like boom, and then it just like ignited this fire. That's sick.
Yes, bro. It was like Infinity War, kicked me from the inside, kicked my Marvel obsession from my kid moments, where I was having comics from Spider-Man and stuff like that, kicked me in the face. It was like, oh my God, what they have done? All the movies together in this movie, and I made it in myself, Before Infinity War, I was casually watching the movies. I
Mm.
wasn't like paying so much attention what is gonna happen. But after Infinity War, I was looking in the internet. What is going to happen to the next
Yeah,
movie?
yeah.
What I'm going to
Speculation,
do? Yeah.
rumors,
Yes.
leaks. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And after this day, bro, I'm buying comics. I'm playing Marvel
Hooked.
Future Fight. I'm like tunnel
Damn,
vision
they got
Marvel.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you played Hearthstone, did you watch any Hearthstone streamers?
Yes.
What was your
Uh,
favorite Hearthstone streamer to watch?
you know him. It's like he has a Greek wife also. I can't
Yep.
remember his name,
He's
bro.
Romanian.
Yes, but what's his
His real name
name?
is Octavian.
But what's his name? In
Octavian.
Oh no, I'm not talking about him then. It's not
You're talking
Octavian.
about Kriparian.
Kriparian, bro. Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Kriparian,
bro.
bro.
He's like the
Kriparian.
king.
Yeah,
So good.
Kriparian. He's
I
so
watched him
good. Yeah.
from Diablo 3. It's so funny. So there was a time period where we were watching the same thing, even though we had no idea who we were, because I followed him from
Yeah.
Diablo 3 to Path of Exile to Hearthstone. And even though I didn't really play Hearthstone and I didn't really play WoW, like I knew enough about it and I just enjoyed watching him. So there was one point where you and I were both watching him,
Oh
unknown that
my
we would both end
god.
up like the strands of fate. We would both
Yes.
end up. And he's actually the
Whoa.
reason why I started a YouTube channel.
Really?
Because yeah, so I heard him talk about it before on his channel a long time ago, where he basically just he approached it like a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what, I'm gonna clock in and clock out every day. I'm gonna make one video every single day, and there's the consistency. Like you go to your job every day, whatever, and that's what the fans will come to expect. And so, that's what I do. And then he also talked about his method of like reducing the amount of work he has to do in editing by just trying to do the whole video in one take and try to organize his thoughts in his head ahead of time and then just deliver it like a speech. And so you can go back. Like I know nowadays his videos are just clips from his stream, but before his videos, like he would do long form videos where he would just talk straight for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. And I was so impressed at how he was able to do that without any editing. And so
Okay.
I started practicing it as well. I wasn't very good. I'm okay now, but I was terrible at the beginning. But that was my goal as well, was to make one video every day and to do it without any cuts or as few cuts as possible.
So
So yeah,
that's you covered already one or two questions I had to do to you by mistake, with Hearthstone and
yeah.
with
Sorry,
watching streamers. Oh
sorry,
my
sorry,
god! So the
bro.
reason for daily videos is that okay,
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
now, and you try to do it one shots yourself and do no editing or small editing.
yeah. Only yeah,
Okay, okay, really nice, really nice. I tried that myself, to be honest, but wasn't working
yeah,
because I was getting so stressed, and
yeah.
the feedback from the people, I didn't feel like I was getting rewarded for, delivering daily videos and stuff like that. So I
Right.
tried to to do some editing and cut the videos in half. So I'm doing
Yeah.
like 3 to 4 videos per week, and
Right.
I'm putting more effort on thumbnails. I'm putting more effort on the general idea of the video,
The
how I'm
quality.
gonna,
Yeah.
yeah, smaller videos, but with more specific content and not me talking for no reason, like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, try to organize my thoughts, and that's, I think that's it's behind that. We're
Yeah.
talking about the title, thumbnail before we do the content and stuff like that. To try to be proper.
Yeah.
I start doing that completely random, to be honest.
Yeah. No.
Uh,
No. Like
uh,
catalyst.
Yes, I was like, actually, no, there were one. I was on Greek Alliances
Yeah.
for Marvel Future Fight. I had met some
Nice.
people on Facebook and stuff like that. And they
Right.
were asking me how you scored that high, how you did
Uh.
that, how you killed this world boss, how
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
that. And I was like, you know what? You have to press this, you have to press that. But write it down. It was so hard to explain someone. So
Yep.
I told him, you know what? I'm going to send you a clip. I start doing that, and I understand that I can't send clips on Messenger, or I can't
Hmm.
send clips so easy. So
Yeah.
I started the channel in the start to upload content for others to see,
Hmm.
and it was like only my phone. After that, it was the thing that the agents of Netmarble, that they dropped the idea of giving you in front content. Remember?
Right. The APK.
APK content, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, that could be so cool. I already do small videos. Let's try to go into the program,
Wow. Yeah.
and I start building on that, but with my phone in the start, no face, in Greeks. No one was watching them because it's Greeks and there is not a lot of Greeks playing this game.
Fair.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was some people in the comment, you're playing fine, but we're not understanding nothing because
Right.
from
English.
India. We're from
Yeah.
England.
Right. Right. Right.
And what about other games or consoles that you're playing? Do you play anything else like Marvel Future Fight?
Man, nowadays it's kind of, I don't know, man. Classic Plus, maybe. You looking at that?
Classic Plus? What's that?
World of Warcraft.
Oh, you play World of Warcraft?
No, but I know of it. You have no interest in like Classic Plus or any of the like new stuff that they announced at BlizzCon. I watched BlizzCon.
Ah, oh no,
No,
I'm off. I'm
completely
off.
cut.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
you don't even follow it anymore.
Yes, yes. I'm trying to have
Uh
distance because I know
yeah,
that if I take the bite, I'm gonna stuck there. And as you already
fair,
know, I'm
fair.
waiting
Yeah,
my baby girl,
yeah.
and I have actually my mind and my life daily. It's like in three different things that I have to do. It's like working,
Yeah.
being a husband, and
Yep.
having my house, working on a work, 9 to 5, and doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu daily. I'm training, and I'm.
Oh, that's sick.
I know. So
Yeah.
you're playing or anything else, or
Well, I've played a little bit. I've actually played a lot recently of Diablo 4.
uh,
But I feel like recently games have not been as good as I remember them. I don't know if we're just getting too old. I think mobile games especially have felt kind of shitty lately. I don't know, like especially with how Marvel Future Revolution went, that was really bad. And it was kind of like, man, it's not just the way it looks. It's not just the way, there's so many more things to it. And you can't just put out a shiny product that's new and it be better. Like it blew my mind so much that a game like 6 years after MFF would die before MFF. Like if I were to tell you that before it came out, you would laugh and be like, Alex, what the fuck are you talking about? Like you're just, you sound cooked. But yeah, man. It's true.
what happened to that game, bro?
Bro,
What
what
happened?
happened? What like I would love to see the behind the scenes on that.
Bro, it was like all over the forum. Everyone on forum was crying like, "Oh my god, the end of the world! Marvel Future Fight is dying. MFR is going to replace it.
Yeah.
Rough,
MFF2, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
drop the game. Everyone, delete the game.
Yeah, quit the
Install this
game.
new game." I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, I have to keep up with this game too. What I need to
Same.
do, bro?" And
Exactly,
I,
yeah.
I start playing. I was like, oh my god, I control Iron Man. I
It looks
control,
good, yeah.
yes, super, wow. And after a while, I realized that it was like Grand Theft Auto with characters of Marvel, that you had to do the same routine of Marvel Future Fight for every single character and build them, and then again the same story and the game. And I was like, bro, I dropped World of Warcraft to chill on a mobile game. This is not a mobile game.
Yeah, I wasn't like I wasn't sure if it would survive, like if MFF would survive, if MFR was really popular. In the back of my mind, I guess I was kind of hoping that MFF would survive because like of everything we've built.
Yeah,
But I never thought like I thought maybe like worst case scenario, it becomes bigger than MFF, and then MFF's player base just slowly declines. Like I can see that, right? But
yeah.
I never imagined it to just collapse in like 2 years. It just disappeared, bro.
Something like this, yes, 2 years.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, I feel like the quality of mobile games lately has been pretty bad, kind of like mobile phones as well. I don't want to take your question and go too far in the wrong direction, but I look at phones nowadays, like I want to buy a new phone. It's been years, but there's
Yeah,
just nothing. Everything, they just keep upgrading the camera and just like useless shit that I don't want.
yeah,
And
true.
it's like, and every phone is like more and more expensive. Now you have to pay $1,000 for a new phone. It's like, bro,
Yeah,
just give me
I
a
get
phone
you.
with a faster processor and a better screen. I don't need all these other bells and
True.
whistles.
The details, if you watch, one model and 2 years after, the details that it's a bit of a RAM, a bit of
Yeah,
processor, and the price is
yeah,
like double, triple, quadruple, and you're
yeah,
like, how this makes sense? There's no
yeah.
balance.
It's 10% faster and it's 50% more expensive. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
So I saw that you already covered this question I had to do. It was like your previous before you start doing YouTube, and you said
mhm.
that how you swap from in the video that you did the other day. That
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were talking about your personal life. But I want to ask you again how you decided to turn into YouTube, and what you were doing before. How you managed to say that okay, now I'm gonna stop working and I'm gonna do
yeah.
full on YouTube. What triggers you that?
Yeah. So remember we talked about Kriparian. It was in my mind that he had said, you have to treat it like a job. So at the time, I was working at a cell phone store in Toronto, just
Mm-hmm.
selling cell phones, cell phone plans, phone cases, screen protectors, right? I didn't really like it, and it was minimum wage, right? So I was making like, I don't know, $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month. Like I wasn't making very much money, but it was okay. I was out of college, but I was still living with my mom. And then one of the guys I worked with there, he told me about this opportunity. He's like, bro, I'm going to go teach in Korea for a year. You should come with me. We can apply to teach at the same school. And I was like, that seems like a lot of work. And he's like, bro, they're going to pay you like $3,000 a month. And they're going to give you free housing. Like they pay for your apartment. So I'm like, whoa, I can make double. And then I don't have to pay rent. So I was thinking, I'll go there. I'll save all my money. Right, I won't spend anything. I'll be a hermit for 1 year,
like seasonal job or something.
Yeah, exactly, like a seasonal job, and then I'll bring it back to Canada and try something, right? So we end up applying together, but then at the last minute he gets scared because he used to smoke a lot of weed. He got scared that he would get stopped at the airport or like arrested or something because Korea has very strict laws against drug use.
Okay.
So he bailed, like he just like stopped answering their phone calls. He abandoned everything. It was crazy.
So he skipped the travel to smoke some weed and having no problem with police?
Yeah. Yeah. And then he got married and he didn't invite me. Yeah. Very hard. Anyways, but yeah, so I end up going alone. And then I ended up doing my job, like getting whatever, $3,000 a month. And then I started to investigate because I had already bought a microphone, but I had nothing else. So I started to investigate because I started playing Marvel Future Fight. I'm thinking, if I want to capture the game and show people what I'm doing, how can I do it? So I did some research. I found a NVIDIA a tablet, NVIDIA Shield tablet.
Okay.
And you can just plug the HDMI into it and record straight from it. So I'm like, okay, I'll record from this and I'll use the camera. And so I started recording on weekends. I was working my job at in Korea 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Okay. And you were teaching kids or adults English?
Yeah, kids and teenagers. Yeah, I was teaching them English.
Okay.
And then and so I would work that job, and then on weekends I would do videos. But then I also started doing videos after work, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right?
Okay.
To make a video I was ahead by 12 hours because of the time difference.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It was so nice living in Korea for like patch notes and stuff because it would drop at like 2 p.m. Right? For you, it's not bad. It drops at like 8 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah, it's halfway.
But for people in North America, it drops at like 2 a.m. And so I would see the patch notes at 2 p.m., go home at 8 p.m., record my video and publish it for 9 p.m., which is 9 a.m. So the people in North America are waking up. Boom, they have the patch notes. So I didn't realize it at the time, but it worked out so well for the audience that I was targeting. And then basically keeping in mind what Kriparian had said about treating it like a job, I did YouTube, and you know how it is. At the beginning, you don't make any money.
Yeah,
and then slowly you get approved to be part of the YouTube program, and then they put ads on your video, and then it slowly starts going up. So it slowly started going up, and I was like, "Yo, I'm making like a little bit of money. Like this is really cool. I'm gonna keep doing this as a kind of half job, half hobby."
Yes, half hobby,
exactly. Yeah. And then I got to the point where I was making almost as much at my job as I was on YouTube. And I'm like, you know what? If this is what it's going to be, I can just do YouTube. And I don't have to travel to go to work. I don't have to deal with like bullshit. I don't have to, do all this stuff. So then I just decided to make the switch.
And the quality went up too? And you had...
Well, has the quality gone up for me?
I guess, how much time you...
Did you see the sexiest world bosses?
Yeah.
Nikos, I don't think the quality is gone.
No.
Quality's gone down.
Bro, I was looking. It popped out on my phone. World sexiest world boss, and I was like, look at this, Athena. He's desperate. She gonna say yes to podcast for sure.
Death Proof, the mastermind. He's got his monocle. He's planning his. He's like, now is the perfect time. I must send my attack. Amazing.
I'm just kidding, but I think it was after. I think it was after I sent you the message. After I saw that, I thought, you know what? Perhaps he's so desperate that he agreed to do that.
I can't remember. Honestly, I've made so many videos now, I can't remember, and I have just shit memory. I feel like there was an MFF podcast at some point, but I
Yeah.
just can't remember it. But it didn't last very long, and I think it was either that it didn't last very long, or I was trying to get like a bunch of people together,
Mm-hmm.
like way back in the day. I don't know if you remember T-Mizzle and these guys, like the like really old MFF content creators, even before me, right?
Yeah, I did. I
Um,
didn't knew anyone else than you when I started playing the game. I started playing the game and I was like, "What the fuck is going on this shit, bro? What's all
there's
these
nothing,
things?"
yeah,
It was there were no tutorials. There were nothing to do. I was like, "How I'm gonna do that? How?" And I was looking on
yeah,
the internet, and you were the first guy that YouTube saw me. Sorry for that,
yeah.
but yeah,
No, it's
you.
all good. It's another thing that I'm blessed and I'm lucky that there wasn't more people already on the game. Like I chose a game by chance, but I chose a game that was very open to new content creators. Because now
Yeah.
like I want to make videos on Diablo 4, no one's gonna watch because there's like 500 Diablo 4 content creators and
Yes.
all these other games, right?
Yeah, and if you have a content creator for a specific game that you are playing, most of the time you're stuck with him. You're not gonna
Yeah,
look for others in the middle of the game or something.
yeah,
Only if the content creator stop doing content, you're gonna stop watch him or
yeah.
something like this. And when I was start playing the game, I was watching your videos, and I was like,
Who the fuck is
how
this
how
Malaka?
how is he doing that things that he's doing and I can't do that? And I
Yeah,
was going back to see the 50% cooldown, the 50% ignore defense, all these details. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I had no idea. The game
Yeah,
doesn't
it
explain
does
shit, bro. It's
so
like,
bad. Yeah, the
yeah,
tutorial so bad.
yes, no,
Yeah,
still until now, no one tells you that you need to have ignore defense and cooldown in the game to
true.
participate like normal human being and not playing on a very hard mode. There is
Yep.
people having characters full of Odin's Blessing, brilliant
Yeah.
CDPs, and their cards looks terrible, the stats, and they can't do shit because the characters have 10% ignore defense and they are fighting against the game and they're saying, this is all bullshit. The game is not good.
Yeah. 30-second cooldown on the skill.
Yes, and you're like, what the fuck are you playing, bro? How are you doing that? But to
Every
be
skill is tier
honest,
3 skill.
yeah, but to be honest, bro, if you don't look at content on YouTube, you can't understand Marvel Future Fight. There's no way
Yeah.
you can do that. This
Yeah.
game is so complicated. You need to
Yeah.
be a high RPG player
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
a background on games
To
to
understand.
realize what
Yep.
you need to do and how to build
Exactly.
characters and all this. It's like
Yeah.
a small simulator on a big RPG game, but in the same time, collection and in the
Yeah.
same time dailies and all this, bro. I love this game,
It's such a
even
good
if,
combination.
yes, because of
Yeah.
that. And to be competitive, you don't actually need to play 8 hours like world boss like World of Warcraft.
Grinding,
You
grinding, grinding. Yeah.
Yes, it's like some autoplay. You need to log half an hour in your job, half an hour in the toilet, half an hour before sleep, and you can do all together. And I'm playing the game like ranked top 16 alliance, World PX, where I'm doing ABX, ABL, and I'm not even trying to play in a very high competitive, you know. I'm not playing over and over ABX and ABL, but
Yeah. Like 20,
yes,
30 times.
but
Yeah.
I'm still at top 16, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that makes me feel so good. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
good in the game and I don't have to put so much effort. That
And you don't
wins
have to
me.
spend like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be like a super giga whale. Like a lot of other mobile games, people don't understand. They play MFF, they think it's so expensive. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not cheap, but compared to other games, if they
Yeah.
wanted to be in your rank, my rank, it's like 10 times as much spending, 20
Yeah.
times as much spending.
And, and
Yeah.
and I feel like, bro, I haven't I'm not like saying that Marvel Teacher Fight is like perfect game or something,
Mm,
but
mm,
in the in this period of time after tier 4s, the balance of the game is so good, bro. It's
yep.
so good because even if you are super well and if you are a free to play, you can pretty much have the same tier 4s, the same
Yep.
tier 4s because of the tier 4 materials. They made them so expensive, So
Yeah.
even giga whales don't want to do that. And
Yeah.
there's no point having all
And
tier
there's no point.
4s. Yes.
Exactly. There's very little benefit. Very little benefit.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I challenge people who think that MFF is like not that good. Again, it's not the perfect game for sure. It's got flaws, but it's been out for 8 years now. Find another mobile game that has all of the same features as Marvel Future Fight, that has the same collection, the same RPG, the same graphics, and the same cost. Because I can find you games that have the first 3, but then it costs like 10 times to collect the characters. Every character gotcha, all this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So I can't. I would love to find another game like Marvel Future Fight. I would probably go and play it, right?
I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I would go and play it because I'm so deep in. I can't
Did you
start
play?
from.
Did you try DC Unchained?
No, I've seen people.
Oh,
They have
yeah,
tell me to do that, but I'm closing my ears and I'm like,
yeah. It's dead. It's dead. It's gone. It's dead.
already.
Yeah, it died. So they never released it globally. It was released like just in a few regions in Asia, like Japan, Korea stuff. And so we had to play with a VPN. And if you
Okay.
wanted to buy stuff, you had to use like fake ID, whatever.
Okay.
But it was basically like Marvel Future Fight, but DC characters.
DC, yes, I
But
remember.
but yeah, the game never caught on. There's really not that much of an audience for it, so they just cut the game. Yeah.
Hard.
Yep.
So another dead game like MFR, but MFR just went global also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a question that I had to do later. Why you like and why you play. Marvel Future Fight, but we're
Mhm.
already into that.
Yeah.
We are talking about why we play Marvel Future Fight.
Yeah.
And that's the main reason for me. I have to play so little, and now with the changes they did, I found myself playing more ABX and ABL, to be honest. But
Yep.
it's for a reason. It's for a reason. The rewards they drop, bro, on the extra rewards they drop on ABL and ABX, it's so cool. It so
Yeah.
gives me a reason to try a bit more. Play one
Yep.
or two more times to do and take the final reward. Do you find yourself playing more ABX too?
Yes and no. I'm kind of lazy, unlike you. So I kind of don't want, like, at the same time, I don't want to play. I just want to get it one and done. But I
Yeah.
find myself more willing to invest the resources that I do have. So I have this kind of hoarding mentality. Like I don't want to equip my Odin's blessings. I don't want to, like, when you roasted
Yeah.
my account with all those months back, you were roasting me because I had some of my ABX builds were like really trash, or like not trash, but like kind of weird.
Yeah.
For
You
like
didn't went
ISOs were
full.
missing, and
Yeah.
exactly. And this is like my hoarder kind of attitude. But I find now with the changes, like you're saying, they are really good. And even though it's just 50 tier 4 materials, it feels really nice. To get to 12 million with Luna, and boom, I get an extra 50 Carbonadium. Boom, I get an extra 50 Soul of the Faltine. It's
like,
not much, but it adds up.
Yeah, it's not much, but 50 in numbers, it's like half of your, perhaps like 1/3 of your daily farm in World Boss Legend. And
Right.
on GBR, it's 1/3 also.
Of your day, yeah, exactly. So it's a 25% increase.
So it's like
33% increase.
You have like 2 extra days at the end of the week of farming.
Exactly.
Or something like this. Okay, I'm not that good at math, but
it's okay. Me too.
Yes, it's this. Okay, so you have 2 extra days, and when they introduced Shadowland, to be honest, I was like, more autoplay. Oh my god, more autoplay, and this token shop sucks, and why? And we should push people to play higher stages and stuff like that. I made a video on that, whining on Shadowland actually, because it was people aiming for 200 stage, 250, and this stuff. And these people didn't get any reward, The people that loved Shadowland actually missed the rewards they were getting from the chest and all this stuff. So it's kind of weird for the high competitive Shadowland players, I guess. There are some. But yes, for the rest of us, having autoplay and getting these tokens and use them for tier 4 materials, it's actually really cool. You're winning in like 1 month, actually in 2 weeks, perhaps you're winning 2 World Boss Legend stages. something like this. It adds up. What
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
realize, what I realize after, when we had only World Boss Legend and GBR, I was farming 40 to 45 days per tier 4, 40 to
Yeah.
45, and the last 2 months I'm doing one tier 4. Took me 28 days from zero
Wow.
tier 4 materials, and then
Yeah.
the next it took me 31 days. It was like Black
Wow.
Panther and Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was like super fast on them. And that's because other World Battle rewards also,
Yep.
Shadowland, and now the ABX, it helps a ton.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It adds up. And now with the tier 3 selector, if you're not choosing that from the shop right now with Sylvie, you can get
Yeah.
even there's another 100 of each carbonadium and soldafaltine in the shop.
I'm thinking to drop a video about the selector too. And actually, when I'm gonna start for the selector, I'm gonna tell to people, guys, perhaps you shouldn't pick up, the selector, because the selector, it's pretty much a character that you can farm from everywhere, and you can get him in like less than 2 weeks of farm. So is
Yep.
this worth it? The tier 4 materials, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna find them anywhere in your day. But these tier 3 characters are kind of farmable, so no
Yep.
reason to invest on the selector,
Kind
in
of
my
old
opinion.
character.
Okay,
All right.
so what do you like most on MFF? What do you like personally the most, and what do you hate the most? It's day and night. What do you love and what do you hate?
Okay, I can start with what I hate first because that's the easy one.
Okay.
I hate that we have nothing to do with so many of the characters. I hate that I talked about it in a video recently is fulfilling the power fantasy. And so when
Mm-hmm.
you talk about your warlock in World of Warcraft, your death proof, it's fulfilling that fantasy of the warlock who's channeling this dark magic and he's
Yeah.
draining lives and like it achieves that. You're the paladin, you have these shields, you have all this holiness,
The
you're healing.
healing.
You have
Yeah.
to achieve the fantasy, right? You can't have a barbarian who doesn't go berserk and heal and do so much damage, right? It just
Yeah.
doesn't. If it doesn't achieve that, it doesn't work because everybody has the idea. So everybody has the idea. They look at this character, they look at that character. Nick Fury, kind of useless. Miss Marvel, kind of useless. Spectrum, kind of useless. Like, yeah, sure, the cat's there for Miss Marvel with Goose, but it doesn't do anything. And there's some degree of value you can Alliance Conquest, Timeline, Shadowland token. It's really nothing, right? And I didn't even this is the first time I actually didn't even make a video about Miss Marvel or Spectrum at all because I'm
Yeah.
just so annoyed with these like it's like placeholder like coffee table book.
And to be honest, doesn't really worth make videos on that, because no one is watching them.
Yeah. And they
They
don't and
most
they
of
and they don't the players don't care,
Yeah, who,
right?
who
It's
cares
like a
about the character?
paperweight. Yeah, yeah. So this is really I think the biggest problem with the game right now, and it's a problem that I think other games have a better way of solving, like Marvel Strike Force and Contest of Champions, where they find ways to incorporate team ups and this sort of like team synergy, so that
Yeah.
even if it's a shit character, they can give a very powerful bonus to other characters. Like yeah, Jessica Jones is shitty, but Daredevil's good and Luke Cage is good. So you bring Jessica Jones, she's shit. You bring Iron Fist, he's shit, but because
Yeah.
they're together as the defenders, now it raises the bar. And now Luke Cage and Daredevil, they can compete with Jean and Wolverine and Adam
Yeah.
because you went and got Jessica, you went and you built up your Iron Fist. We don't have that. We don't have that at
Yeah.
all. And so it's really frustrating because it's so much fun when you play with a character like Jean or Magneto or Black Bolt or whatever. The power fantasy is so real. And you're like, man, I'm so strong. It's so cool. And then you
Yeah.
load up and you're playing as Winter Soldier and it's
And
fucking dead, bro. It's like
yes.
there's no pulse. There's no pulse. It's just done. So yeah.
I totally get you. Yeah, I mean, there is 258 characters in the game, and we
Mm-hmm.
we forced to play with 30 characters max
Yeah,
daily.
exactly.
It's for the World Boss Legend teams. 5 teams, 3 characters per team, and it's timeline battle and ABX ABL. The rest of the game, it's like autoplay.
Yep.
So you just focus on build like 30 characters, and you're done. So this is, in my opinion, I'm telling to myself about that this problem It's here to make people that are collectors good and get the goose skill from Miss Marvel and look at them, press it over and over in their homes, and
Yeah.
they're feeling cool because there is a lot of collectors in this game. There
Yeah.
is guys being rank one and doing nothing in the game on multiple characters, and this is really weird. But these guys are running the game in the same time, I believe.
Yeah, they're spending a lot of money to get rank one characters and just do
Yeah.
nothing with them. Yeah, they just want they want the action figure and they want it to be like at the highest statue.
So what makes you love the game and keeps you playing dailies and all this stuff for 8 years now? 8 years and a half, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I think 100%. If I was the only content creator, if the community, like if there was no Discord, if there was no whatever, if I had to spend my time talking to people on the forums, yeah, I would have probably scooped out my eyeballs, and I probably would have either, if not quit the game, I probably would have like taken a lot of breaks and like hiatus, and just the for sure I can tell my energy is not the same as it was a few years ago for the game. Like the passion doesn't stay the same forever, right? And you know that, like if for example in a relationship, like it's not the passion that gets you through 20 years. It's love, right? And it's
Yeah.
dedication, because you're not always going to have a good day. You're going to have good days, you're going to have great days, but you're going to have bad days too, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um so I don't think there's any one thing. I think actually that's not true. The thing that keeps me going with the game is the changes
Mm-hmm.
that they make. So you talked about ABX, ABL rewards, even like small changes, even sometimes changes that I don't like. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that they're making changes to me gives me some hope. It might be like copium, I'm like, oh, they're gonna change it the way I want it. I might be lying to myself, but at least they're trying, right? And
Yes,
the
bro.
the the worst
Yes.
thing, the worst thing, and the death kiss for any game, as you know, when they stop trying, when there's silence,
I
there's no
understand.
post, no dev note, no advertising, no video, no sneak peek, and you're like, oh shit.
Yes, bro, and I have to say, I have to tell you that there is a lot of times that I was like, "What the fuck are you thinking?" But in the end of the day, the addition of Tier Force. When I saw on the forum the sneak peek for Tier Force, it
Yeah,
wasn't clear if it's Tier Force. It was like a
yeah,
four, and I was thinking that they are gonna add another member in the team from three to
to
four,
four,
or
right?
change the core of the game, and people
Yeah,
was telling me tier 4, and I was like, guys, there's no way tier 4's coming. There is tier 2's in the game, and there's
yeah,
not full awakened tier 3 characters. They have to be stupid to do that.
yeah,
And here it comes, they do the tier 4. In the start I was completely negative, and in a
yep,
period of like 2 weeks, I was already having a level 80 Ironman Progress, World Boss Legend, stage 50 on Mephisto, when before I was struggling big time.
yep,
And I was like, okay, that's why they did that. They had
yeah,
think ahead with the World Boss Legend that in a period of time they're gonna increase the power level of the characters, and we're gonna
yeah,
be able to do higher stages than stage 50.
yeah,
It they surprised me nice multiple times with these changes, as you're saying. And yes, I mean, it's has been a roller coaster of feelings, Marvel Future Fight. But exactly the moment between actually, I was feeling that there is no reason for me to play more the game, and there is no reason for me to be more competitive, because it was like 7 million cap on ABX and ABL, and
yeah,
everyone was doing it. And I was feeling like the game was, there's no way to compete, to play better, basically for the time you spent on the game, you get the same amount of reward. I was
yeah,
feeling bad a lot.
yeah,
And in this period of time, I was like, okay, they're gonna do something, and they're dropping the Gold Boss Legend. And in the Gold Boss Legend, I was like, oh my god, this is super cool, boss, bro. I need to go
yeah,
there to do the tactics, or else you're dead, like World of Warcraft.
yep,
Because
yep.
before on Proxima and all these boss, there were a bit of a tactic, but you could do stage 99 without even give a
Just one shot.
shit. Yes, one
Yeah,
shot and stuff like that. And the game was like, it wasn't something special to do in the game, but on World
Yeah.
War Legend, when it drops, it was crazy, bro. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
It did
And
change that a lot.
yes, bro, it was a huge change. And in the same time, they do the thing with the CDPs, the crafted CDPs,
Yeah.
the P cards, because everyone at this period of time, we were already start having a lot of CDPs. You know, we were already having some P cards, and everyone was feeling like I am at the end of the account build, and everyone was
Yeah.
feeling right. And they just dropped the crafted CDPs and the P cards. And then the community they start fight each other on the
Boycott.
forums, boycott. The game was on fire, you know. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah. It was
it
crazy.
was really weird situation. I remember you staying out of the crafted CDPs, and
Yeah.
I was like in YouTube, and I was like to find someone having crafted CDPs and do this stuff, and I was seeing Godzillinator, and I was like, what the fuck is this thing, bro? He was playing like
Yeah.
stage 50 or
Yeah.
second week of Wobo's Legend. And I was like, what? What is this thing
Yeah, he was
exists?
just blowing it up. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, now I'm watching Godzillinator. Do I cheat on Alex? Do I have to send him an apologize email? Or do I have to boycott?
Oh, that was you who sent that email? Oh.
I was counting the chances, and I was like, "What I'm gonna do? Am I going to craft my cards? Oh my
Yeah.
god!" And then I said, "You know what? I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to go slow. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
the craft cards. It's for free. I don't need to spend premium materials. I made
Yeah.
my cards. I get easier. The stats on cooldown and ignore defense before the crafted stats. You had to have specific roles, specific cards, specific ignore defense, cooldown. If I miss this cooldown card, oh, it's the end of my life. I don't have cooldown now. But with the
Yeah.
crafted stats, bro, this was day one sold.
Yeah.
It was a
Way more
blast. It was
variety
a
too.
blast.
You can have different cards. You can do different things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Way more variety.
It was so cool. It was so cool. And the CDPs, the best part was when raids came. I can't remember
Yeah.
in which period it was, but CDP of raids helped me a ton. Bro, before
Hmm.
CDP of raids, I was struggling. I
Yeah.
couldn't proc. I couldn't understand the proc, I
Mm.
was seeing videos over and over, and I was trying to mimic, but the way that proc was working on World of Warcraft was nothing to do with Marvel Future Fight.
Uh,
And because I was playing damage over time characters like Warlocks, I had
yeah.
in
Yeah.
my mind that I have to drop the skills and over time damage, procking my artifacts and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. 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 It would be cool
So
if they designed a character like that, but no, that's not how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
them with multiple bleeds and multiple poisons, but in game it sucks big time.
Yeah. 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 Like
So
Blade and Zemo and stuff. Yeah.
how it hit to you, the artifact situation, the CDPs and the Picard craft situation? What you were thinking back in the day?
I mean, you said it. I was boycotting. I was angry. I was like, it was pretty crazy at first. We have a much better system now. I think people forget that the system originally you had to use P cards to get the crafted stats.
Yeah,
So they were basically saying if you want one fully crafted card, you need to save 30 P cards. If they for sure they had to change that system because if that system was still in the game now, the game would be dead. Like
yeah, true.
you were saying at the beginning of the call, at the beginning of the interview that I got so unlucky. I burned like 15 P cards. So with the
Yeah,
old system, I would be halfway. I would have only crafted 3 stars on a card. That's like insane, and that's the whole year that you save up with all of the P cards that they give away for free now monthly with the tokens, with the chest, the tokens that you trade in at the halfway point,
yeah,
right? The
that
the
helps
the
at
tokens
all.
you get from GBR. Yeah. So they definitely had to change it. I still think it was a little bit. I think the way that they went about it was a little bit. I don't know. I think they could have done it better, to be honest. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in hindsight, it's always easier to criticize them for what they did
Yeah,
or
of
to say
course.
like this and that. But I think you're right. I think it was better for the game to raise the ceiling to keep raising
Mm-hmm.
the ceiling. And there's always going to be a group of people when you raise the ceiling who get mad because they don't like change, or because they had just got there and they wanted to feel on top. And now
Yeah,
they're not on top anymore because now the ceiling has moved.
there
But
is
in the
another
end,
mountain to go.
exactly, you get to the top, you put the flag in, oh shit, there's Everest. Exactly. But the truth is, like you're saying, it's better for the game. It gives the game more longevity. It gives you more things to do. It gives you more things to look forward to. And funny enough, even now, I'm still not sure what to do because there's no second bingo, and my plan was to do 2 bingos for Black Friday.
Ah,
I don't know what to do with them. Like, I'm like, do I just spend less money? Do I spend the same money and just buy crystals and just hoard them? And I'm not really sure what to do. I'm kind of thinking, because my alliance is kind of putting pressure on me. They want me to try and reroll one of my other cards. But after the drama with the first card, I'm kind of nervous. And I'm thinking to myself, if I roll my crescent card and I fix it, what will I have to do? Like I might actually be at the point where I finish my cards, and then it's
yeah.
like shit. It's kind of less fun than it is to have something to do,
Yeah,
and like
because
it's not as yeah.
yeah, because if you complete the cards after every single time that you're gonna get a P card, you're gonna feel like, what I'm gonna do with
It
that?
it doesn't really matter exactly, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking I already have so many artifacts. I don't want to spend those tokens every update to just get the 4-star artifact selector. Am I going to start selecting the CTP box and get the transcendence?
yeah. The game, if you are super well and you have done
Yeah,
everything and a veteran, the game feels lacking of having something to focus and be better in the future. It helps a ton, to be honest.
yeah, exactly.
And
Yep,
I think like the artifacts was a really nice touch on the characters, unlock extra potentials from a
yeah,
PvE character, go to PvP. And of
yeah.
course, 90% of the artifacts are completely useless and they could throw them in the garbage bin. But the fact that this 10% makes the character different and give them an extra ability or
An
something.
extra layer. Yeah,
Yes, it's so cool, bro. It's so cool
yeah,
with the artifacts.
yeah. I
Swords
agree.
after team up collection, or these things, hits back to back. How you feel about swords and all this stuff?
The more research I do in talking to my alliance, the more it seems like swords are important if you want to play like a really high level for PvP. For PvE, I don't think it's as serious. You just want to get the most swords so you get the highest all attack bonus. It's pretty simple, straightforward. But
Yeah.
for PvP specifically, I'm now looking at the possibility of having to re-roll my swords even though they're already perfect.
Ah.
So I'll have to make other swords just to sacrifice them, like making spare cards to re-roll your card, to
Ah.
try to change some of the bonuses, because you can actually go and look, and I didn't realize this, but you go to look at the swords, and if you have a perfect sword, it can roll up to 4% skill cooldown. One sword. So if
Okay.
all 6 swords have 4% skill cooldown, that's 24% skill cooldown.
So you
So then
don't
you
need
can
it
go,
in your cards.
yeah, you can start tinkering with your cards, get a little bit more attack, get a little bit more HP, get more defense, something attack speed, something like that kind of thing. So there's that, plus there's the other stats that the swords give you that you can't get from anywhere else, like increased damage to mutants, increased damage to aliens, this kind of shit.
Concentration, really important in my
Exactly.
mind. Concentration
Yes.
for crafted CDPs. It's
Yes,
so cool.
exactly.
PV and
Exactly.
PvE, smashing starting with full raids, brilliant raids, full in this first rotation, having the proc. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Team up
I
collection.
lame, huh?
It's too whale. It's way too whale. Like I was thinking again for the Black Friday thing. Okay, if I just save my money, I don't spend. What am I going to spend on? Where can I get like the most gain, like most efficiency for my
Boost
money?
on your account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like, am I just going to buy the tokens to try to get 10% pierce? Like it just feels so cringe.
Yeah,
And then
totally.
if you fail, there's nothing. You're just flushing it down the toilet.
It's not like
Like
it's not even like the artifact that you get a better percentage in the next try you do or something. They're just telling
exactly.
you, "Oh, you lost it.
Oh, too bad. Yeah, try again. Yeah, yeah.
Next
It's
time you
it's
could be luckier."
Yeah, and then some people made the point, like as happy as it is and as nice as it is to have the token boxes now in ABX and ABL, and it adds up over time. what's going to happen when they add more team up collections? If they add team up collections fast, like let's say they add another 3 team up collections
Until
early
the
next
end of the
year,
year. Ah, yeah.
yeah, or at the end of this year or early next year, right? And then they add another 3 and then another 3. Now you're fucking opening the box and you're like, it's going to take you a month to get enough for one pull on one of the 10 that they have, because it's only
Yeah.
like 10 characters per collection. So that's like, we're going to need like 26 collections.
True, true. It's like it's a lot of work to do on this team. If they manage to put all the characters on specific team
Yeah.
up collection, at
Yeah.
like 3 years from now, this thing it's gonna be so expensive to go and start with it. Oh, and the point is that with this situation, having swords, cards, CDPs, team up collection, if you start the game tomorrow, you have to
Yeah.
play 1 year and spend every month 1,000 euro or dollar to catch up with the others at minimum. It's gonna
Yeah.
be really hard for the new players to keep up with with the veterans.
With all that. Yeah. 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 No, definitely. So I'm hoping that they add it, when they add new team up collections. I hope that they add like another way, like maybe they start giving tokens, team up tokens in like GBR or story mode or something like that, because they need to give like that's the only way to kind of keep it balanced. Otherwise, it's gonna spiral out of control. Because
Yeah,
right now it's good. There's only 3, so
yeah.
every time you open a box from ABX, ABL, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting the tokens you need. But
Hmm.
then they cut the chance in half as soon as they add the next set, right? It starts to plummet so fast, and the percentage gets so low.
So it's gonna be harder and harder to keep up with the characters you want. And
Yeah,
for some characters, bro, this team up collection it was like a revive. I mean, Moon Knight, keep up with Black Panther, and now he can
exactly.
do better because of the team up.
10% Pierce. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool. Cable get an extra layer of value, and all these
Storm.
characters, Storm, especially
Even if
Storm.
they
Yeah,
add a mutant hero female to compete with Storm, they might not be able to
yeah.
compete because Storm has access to the team up collection,
It's
and
really
that shit's
it's
like almost 2 years old.
Yes, yeah, that thing. Tier Force, bro. Tier Force.
Yeah.
We talked about that previously, but aren't they doing perfect job balancing the tier 4? Or it's in my mind? You know, I feel like the balancing on the characters, it's actually perfect. The moment that you bought Moon Knight and Storm in 2021 or 2022, when they
Hmm.
introduced, for the very first day, you bought
Hmm.
Storm and you didn't lose any value 1 year and a half after. You have the same value. You have whatever you paid for on Storm, whatever you paid
Mm.
for Moon Knight. The characters still be in the top of the meta, and there is actually no character that you can say that I did this tier 4 and it's completely useless.
Ant
Even
Man.
Hulk. Okay, I mean Ant-Man. Okay, he's useless to be on ABL and ABX for sure. But the character itself, bro, it's competitive.
Bro, now no, my so I half agree with you. I half agree with you. I think some of the characters there's really good balancing, but I think they did like a mega screw up with some of the characters. I think Professor X balancing is really bad because Cable is just like way better than him. I think Ant-Man balancing is really bad because Miles is just like way better than him. And then I
Oh,
think they they shouldn't have released Shadow Shell the way that they did, because, or you know what they should have done? They should have made Shadow Shell clearly PvP. They should have shifted Shadow Shell to PvP, knowing that they were going to drop Spider Gwen and then Luna. Gamora, I can forgive Gamora because she's an alien, so it's different. It's not the same. But 3 female human superhero speed in a row with just like, Shadow Shell, Spider Gwen, Luna, like little tiny bumps. I mean, you got to feel bad for the people that got Spider Gwen and then 1 month later, you know? Yeah.
I did Shadow Cell, I did Spider Gwen, back to back,
Yeah.
and I'm not using these characters at all. But my point is that if you had built in the first Black Widow, you had her value until Luna Snow, and she
True.
was still the best character. Spider Gwen give a beat on the score against Black Widow, and now she's the best for ABX and ABL. But after these characters, only Luna which is the mascot of the game, original character,
Yeah.
paintball character. They are pushing Luna all these
A
years.
lot.
Okay, we know.
True,
Okay,
true,
so
true.
after the Luna, if we pull out Luna and we pull out Magneto, perhaps the rest of the characters, the up and downs that you're having in classes, it's not like more than 10% the difference. I mean, perhaps Doctor Octopus with Namor has a bit bigger difference, but the rest of the characters, Thor, Ghost Rider, they have different, but Thor has other value on being alien, farming better the rifts. They are giving some special abilities to characters. They're giving special tags to characters. Gamora, so cool character to have at level 80 or tier 4.
She's really strong at 80, yeah.
She's alien. She's going through so many World Wars Legend. Weapon
Master,
speed type against Mephisto. It was so cool when this happened.
True.
I was struggling with Moon Knight. I did all the challenges with Moon Knight, and the day after they dropped Gamora, and it was like, no shit, bro. But after, now, okay, I don't feel bad because I used her on Ultron stage 89, so
she's so good.
I generally feel tier 4s are winning in the game. And after 1 year and a half, the game has another layer of,
complexity.
Yeah. You're gathering.
I'm saying, I'm coming around to what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Making the plan for your next tier 4, it's still so important after 1 year and a half. Has
True,
crazy
it's not just
value.
Meaningless. True.
Crazy
it's not just
value.
like, I'll just tier 4 whoever.
Yeah, you don't.
True.
You are going into YouTube comments. Oh, should I tier 4 him? I have this CDP. I have that. People are getting upset before they press the button for tier 4.
Yeah. That's true. You're right. Yeah. I didn't consider that.
This gives to the game, a new layer of interest. The people are looking in the forums, are looking in Discord way more than before to find out which is the best investment for the tier 4 materials they grinding for 40 days or 30 days or 45 days. And I feel like this thing gives a new purpose to the game, and I feel totally cool with it. And as I said, forum, let's talk about this crazy house. What's your opinion about the forum of Marvel Future Fight and Netmarble? How do you feel about people being there and talk to each other? How do you feel about these guys?
Delete it. Destroy it. Delete all of their accounts. Just shut the website down. Just
really?
No. I think it's fine. I think it's natural to have the official place to talk for any game being like so toxic. I used to think that when I was more naive about like games and gaming communities, I used to think that Marvel Future Fight forums were like such a weird place, and like it's so weird and different, and other games are not like that. They're all the same. They're all the same. All games are the same. If you go to the official Discord channel for a lot of games, people are so fucking toxic. There's so much toxicity. Anytime you have the official whatever, it always attracts these like super online, super weird people who are just completely cooked in the head, and they spend all day on there just blah blah blah, yap, and they just say the craziest stuff. It's normal.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you my take on the forum. I'm still using the forum because I'm trying to promote my content, and I'm trying to, and I fight the trolls daily. I'm going there. I'm answering their comments. I'm trying to.
You have to.
Yes, I'm trying to pull people, and I'm trying to talk proper. The guy told me you don't know shit, and I'm asking him, what do you mean?
Yeah, prove it. Prove I don't know shit. Yeah.
What do you mean? Tell me. And I have to say, there is like for sure, like 70% of the people there are making fun of others, are trying to bully people online. Are not that they are saying that they are. They're saying that they are girls, they're boys. They're saying that they are 15 years old, they're 40. I feel it. I feel like there is weird people there. But in the
Yeah.
same time, the rest of the 30%, there is
Yeah.
people there being actually, helping others daily,
Yeah.
commenting, making short videos, explaining stuff, dropping
Right.
huge, huge
Writing up like eloquent, essay
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is so cool people, and in my mind, because there is so good people, these good people can win the bad people. But I feel like Netmarble and Marvel Future Fight developers has to do something way more that they think they are doing. I'm not sure if they're doing anything for people that getting reported or something.
Moderation.
But yes, but I feel like because there are already guys there being polite, being helpful, they could take these people like they're taking the YouTubers. They told us, you want to make content, take some coupons. Tell them, take some coupons, take some gardening crystals per month, and stay in the forum and keep it clean.
Moderate it. Yeah.
Yes, if they do star agents of forum, there is so healthy people there dropping daily content, want to help everyone.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, if they do that, because I'm not gonna tell them pay new employees and put them in the forum to watch the kids cursing each other. That feels weird.
Yeah.
But because there is people spending 10 hours in the forum daily, reward these guys, the good dudes.
Yeah.
Reward them.
True.
And it's not really hard to understand who is making fun of others and who is actually putting effort on the forum.
Helping. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
This could be. Tell me.
It could be a really good idea, actually. Like, no joke. And what it reminds me of is I saw Marvel Strike Force recently promoting certain YouTubers who make like helpful content, because Marvel Strike Force had an issue in the past with some content creators being like really toxic in the community, and then they had to like ban them or like cut them off from the content creator program that they had for Strike Force. And so what they've done now is, that's like quite a couple of years ago, but now what they're doing is like, even though it's smaller YouTube channels, whatever, they're highlighting them in game. Like, hey, check out this like new character just dropped. Check out this guide for this character. And also Marvel Contest of Champions does the same thing. When you go into the character page and it's showing you like the details, there's videos at the bottom, like spotlight videos, and you can click on it. Yeah, and it will either pop up a video or it will send you to the external link to YouTube to watch the video.
This is really nice.
Yeah, and so Marvel Future Fight does that for links, right? They have the pop-up for the read the dev note and whatever. But I feel like if they did that for content creators, and they kind of like it's kind of like fostering positivity, like obviously they're not going to link videos where we're criticizing the game or where we're talking about boycott, like obviously, right?
Yeah.
But if you're making a guide, I'm making a guide, this other person's making a guide video, whatever, or explanation of swords or this kind of thing, why not link it? Because like you said as well, new players, they have no idea 50% skill cooldown, 50% ignore defense. What is a proc? They have no idea, right?
They can't understand.
If they don't choose on their own independently to go to YouTube, to go to Google, to go to Facebook or the Facebook groups or the forums, and find that 30% of people, because it's probably the same thing, right? Probably on Facebook, like you're saying, 70% of people are just like a malaka, but then the other 30%, they're like you, they're like good people, they're helping, whatever, they're sharing. If they don't find those 30%, then they're just gonna be okay, this game's trash, whatever, I'm done.
By the way, as you mentioned that there were toxic videos from a community, we had that on Marvel Future Fight also. We had some guys make videos and saying to equip wrong CTPs. We had some guy. It was a lot of. It was like one or two guys. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say names and say stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
of course.
The community started emailing Netmarble and they banned them from the Star Creator program.
Star Creator,
Yes,
yeah.
and their channels went like that down on the views. And yes, and I'm not sure why there is that kind of guys. Who wanna do effort, make content to make fun of other people following his advices. I mean, this feels crazy.
Know. I mean, maybe for them it's easier than being honest. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
or they just want to stand out because we're all kind of saying the same thing. Like we all kind of agree. Like give Luna a rage, give Jean whatever, and then they're like, okay, give Jean a patience, and then people are like, what is this guy talking about? Like, oh, maybe
yes.
this is new. This is maybe he's right.
I want to ask you something, generic. I guess you consider yourself a good player in the
I'm
game.
okay. I'm
How you
okay. I'm
feel?
okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay. I think I used to be better. I definitely can tell that I'm a little bit worse than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just my hands. I had an issue with like almost carpal
Arthritis?
tunnel.
Arthritis?
Yeah, a little bit. And so
Me
I have
too.
like a tennis ball that I use sometimes here at the
Mm,
desk. Um, yeah, I think I'm okay, honestly. I think, but I think there are definitely better players for sure. And
yeah.
I see videos of them like clearing content, and I think also part of being a good player, I think, is being curious about the game and trying new things because there's just so much complexity to the game. Like recently with Loki, you have to have lots of enemies around so that it stacks the explosions. Then with Namor, a lot of people forget, but when you use the third skill with Namor, you don't want any enemies. You just want the Frost Beast or just Surtur, because the discs that he's throwing, if they hit the enemies, the little monsters, instead of hitting the Frost Beast or Surtur, you lose points. You're not getting as many points, right?
Okay.
So you
I
want
pretend.
to
I pretend I knew that. I pretend I knew
okay.
that.
I thought you couldn't hear me. Sorry.
No,
So
no, no,
maybe
no.
it's my microphone. Maybe my microphone.
Oh no, no, no. It's
So
not your microphone.
yeah. So there's so much complexity, and you have to be curious. And I'm still curious about the game, but I don't feel like I'm as curious as I used to be. Like
Mm.
I used to, and you know the feeling, right? A new character comes out, and you're like, man, I need to know everything about the character. I need to study like every skill. I need to memorize like all the animations. Are they moving? Where's the iframe? Blah, blah, how long is the buff? Whatever, blah blah. And I'm doing all the math in my head. Do 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 do. Now I'm like, okay, what's the skill? What's the skill preview? What does it tell me
Okay.
to do? Oh,
Okay.
five four
Let's
three. Okay,
go.
cool.
Let's
Okay,
go.
it's 543, guys. Okay, guys, it's 543. And then like a week later, you'll email me or like whatever, you'll message me or Commander will message me and be like, bro, it's actually 534. And I'm like, oh, hey guys, new video. Oh, sorry, it's 534. I'm so dumb. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, I
mean,
can't call myself a good
I
player. Yeah.
I'm in the same situation with you. I feel like I'm gonna play good, but most of the times I wanna play good because other people push me. Because the thing that you said, the community that follows you and
Yeah.
wants you to get help or give them help. It's so healthy. The good
Oh
guys,
yeah.
that
Yeah.
they're telling you, oh, you did that wrong. Please try again. You can do more score in ABX and ABL. And I'm like, my God, bro, this guy's pushing me and I like it. I want to be good for them. I want to drop
Yeah.
them a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
screenshot with better score.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better for my audience most of the times. But yes,
Yeah.
they're pushing me more than I'm pushing them, I guess.
Oh hell
So
yeah.
it's really good and healthy. So let's go into another question. It's really weird, but it's like a question that everyone asking that. Who is your favorite character? Your favorite character to
Uh
play in the game. What do you like to play the most? You like to
ooh.
see Namor? What do you like to see?
I still really like Doctor Strange, even though they changed his kit around so much. I still really like him. I just think he looks like it's kind of visually hard to see because of all the shit on the ground, but it just still
Mm-hmm.
looks really cool. All the magic, the mysticism, it just looks really cool. I still really like to play with Black Bolt. I feel like Black Bolt is one of the most well designed characters. Like his rotation is so smooth. Like he does the little
She's
jump
doing
with
the thing.
five,
Yeah.
and then with the fourth skill at the end, it's like boom, like this kind of laser thing, and the camera kind of moves a little bit. It just feels like it's very satisfying to do his rotation. I never really get bored of doing his rotation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter how many times I play. Like I've been playing him for over a year now, but yeah.
I am from the small percentage of the people that didn't tier 4 Black Bolt and bought his uniform. And I have him as a level 80 and playing stage 69 of Ultron and actually
Seriously?
79 of Ultron with him level 80. And I was like, I can't do that. So why tier 4 him? I'm not
Holy
sure.
shit!
I
With a
never tier 4
rage?
him. Yes, with the raids.
Wow, I didn't know he could go that high.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
see, okay player, good player.
No, no,
There's the
no.
difference.
You have to watch other guys. You know, I'm not sure you know him actually. Bob Sarge. Have you seen his clears on World Boss
Oh yeah,
Legend?
Bob Sarge. Yeah, I've seen a couple of his. Yeah, he's very good.
Oh
Very
my
good.
god,
Very good player.
he's on my Discord always, and we are competing each other. He came into our alliance recently,
Nice.
and Worthy X, and we're competing in ABX and ABL, and the dude has like way worse builds, way worse cards, and we're like so close,
Neck and
bro.
neck. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, you know,
This
there's
is like the true. Yeah,
the true good players in my mind
yeah.
here.
Very like great. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
What do you think about generally, you know, the future of the game? How you feel now after getting the tier fours, after getting the team map collection? What do you think that it's the next level of the game? They dropped a developer note also, but how do you feel it's gonna keep goes? You know?
Ooh, it's tough to say. It's tough to say. There's some things that I like about the developer note. It does give me hope, but at the same time, I think they are still kind of attached to the old way of doing things. Like there's some years where the game feels very progressive and it's like making lots of changes really fast and like
Yeah,
wow, wow,
yeah.
wow. And then and then the next year it feels really slow and it's almost like they forgot all of the things they did last year and it feels kind of weird. Um, so because of that, I feel like without that consistency, it's just throwing darts in the dark. I have no idea, right? I hope for the best, of course. It's like I'm not hopeful when they say world boss because it's like okay, we have enough world boss. It's a good game mode.
It's
Focus
six
elsewhere.
already.
Yeah, but then they give you hope by saying, okay, this world boss is going to be different than all the other world bosses, and it's not going to be about just like high HP and like super damage. So I'm thinking, okay, like are they going to do something that's much more like skill based, much more like pattern based, like you're saying in World of Warcraft, where you have like the raid group has to do like very specific things. The dragon
Jump
drops
all
the eggs. You
together.
have to, yeah, you have to kill all the eggs before you can damage the boss or whatever. You have to knock down the thing in this specific order, like red, green, blue, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you screw it up, then you're just dead, or the boss gets some crazy buff. Like I don't know. But even then, I feel like that would be really cool. Don't get me wrong, that would be really cool. But you still only get one run a day or 5 runs a day, right? So it's not. It would be better to do that for something like GBR, where you can play with other people and you can do like 20 runs a day if you want or
Right.
something else. So I kind of I'm still holding out hope with the Otherworld battle recently. I think that they are looking for more ways to monetize the game, which is a good sign for the future. Like they're not giving up on the game. They're not like
Yeah.
throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to. I think you pointed it out. They've upgraded the ceiling on ABX and ABL multiple times now, right? Because
Yeah.
they only made the big change with ABL. People forget it was last year, right? It was with Tier 4. It was around the Hulk update where they added World Boss
Uh,
Legend. It
yes,
hasn't been
because
that long.
it was like they went to 10 million, from 10 million to 15 million. It wasn't that far. Yeah.
Exactly. And but so they've introduced World Boss Legend and now they've already bumped up the cap. The cap was 10 million World Boss Legend. Or sorry,
Mm-hmm.
ABX, ABL,
Yeah.
Alliance Battle Legend. Sorry, not World Boss Legend. Sorry,
Yeah.
Alliance
Yeah.
Battle
Yeah.
Legend was only last year that they introduced it.
Yeah.
Alliance Battle Legend, and since then they've already bumped up the cap twice. So they're clearly trying to really focus on that game mode, monitor it, and they're seeing the player progression, and they want to keep up with the player progression. So I'm hopeful with Otherworld Battle that they will shift their focus and do the same thing for
Mm-hmm.
PvP, because I think this
Yeah.
is really like where they could achieve a lot of that power fantasy for other characters if they focus more on PvP and they give us like more restrictions and more interesting, reasons to use different teams, to use Miss Marvel, to use Spectrum, whatever. And then they raise the cap and they
Mm-hmm.
raise the ceiling and they add some rewards. I think it would be really nice.